Hey everyone, this is Kyle once again, aka Jurassic Godzilla fan, and welcome to another review. Um, this time I'm going to review another series, another favorite horror, one of my all-time favorite horror films, and one of the most classic films of all time, Jaws. Jaws, the classic 1975 shark film, and it's one to say one of the best is no not one of the it's the best shark film of all time because there's no other shark film that comes close to Jaws. If you ask anybody, if anyone knows a great shark film, they automatically says this. If they want to know what the score was from Jaws, they should know what it was, because who cannot top that great score from John Williams' score? Da 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 da. You know, I don't know. I've heard anybody not know what that score was before. If you ask anybody, they should know what that score is. So yeah. So anyway, Jaws was released June 20th, 1975. And stars Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, and Richard Dreyfuss. Directed by, of course, Steven Spielberg. It's the only horror film that Steven Spielberg's ever directed. This is the 30th anniversary edition, and has a lot of features. Two disc special edition, and normally that this one should always comes in with a small photo journal. But I have a small portion, a small store in a box. I have a small portion of a Jaws collection, with merchandise. Must have put it along with put this journal along with those ones because I got including the poster right there, and I got got some Jaws trading cards, and I got the book and the soundtracks to the first Jaws film, and a Jaws game, including and also the Jaws PlayStation game. Jaws, it was Jaws Unleashed. So it did come with it, but I think I put it away along with those. So it gets a lot of features. As the disc one has the deleted scenes and outtakes. From the set. From the set, never before available interview with director Steven Spielberg. Disc 2 has a 2-hour documentary of the making of Jaws, featuring interviews with Steven Spielberg, Richard Dreyfuss, and Roy Scheider. Jaws archives, production photos, storyboards, marketing Jaws, and the Jaws phenomenon. Good features. Especially I like the 2-hour documentary. And we'll also include this. I also have this. The Jaws 100th anniversary, Universal 100th anniversary Blu-ray of it. I'm not a fan of Blu-ray, so I just got it just for the sake of the collection because I'm sure it'll look good. The picture will look good because that's what Blu-ray is good for, is making the picture much more better, But it's a Blu-ray, so I just got it just for the sake of for the collecting, So I just want to point that out. So it was also produced by Richard D. Zanuck and David Brown. Both of those producers are now passed on. Recently, Richard D. Zanuck, over a few months ago, he recently passed. So yeah. So score by John Williams, based on the novel by Peter Benchley. I've read the book. I read the Jaws book by Peter Benchley, and I know it has differences. I do enjoy the book. Even though there is some differences though, but I still enjoy it. And of course, and during the making of the film, they had a lot of trouble for the making the animatronic shark work in the water because saying the featurette, the shark is still working, the shark is still working. There was a lot of trouble getting the animatronic shark tooth malfunction in the water. There's had a lot of troubles during that, Even what I read on here, even though Wikipedia is not entirely true most of the time, but this is for what I'm reading. The budget was $9 million, and it was a huge hit over the summer. Big, huge blockbuster over the summer. And it was the first film ever to make over $100 million in the U.S. too, you know. So, which is really great. The first film ever, you know, to make over $100 million. Anyway, I would say it is one of the best blockbuster films of all time, along with many other classics. So now get into the story. If pretty much everyone who's seen Jaws, you pretty much know the story, you know. You pretty much know the story to Jaws, but the story is, you know. But again, I'll just tell it to say it anyway, because you know, I pretty much know the story. But if you haven't seen Jaws, where have you been all these years if you have not seen Jaws? Jaws is one of the most classic films of all time, and you have not ever heard or seen it? Come on. But if everyone wants to, please just check that film out, for crying out loud, you know. I've never heard anyone who's ever seen or heard of the first Jaws film. You know, just anyway, get into the film. It starts over, you know, these hippies on a beach, you know, having a on the campfire, you know, just drinking and smoking, you know. And the girl by the name of Christine and this other guy, they were going to go swimming on the beach, and the guy. He was way too drunk and was trying to get his clothes off, but he ends up getting passed out on the beach and doesn't hear the girl as she's swimming, you know. And originally, what was really good, they in the beginning, the attacking of Christine, they were going to show the shark, but they didn't decide want to make it much more creepy, you know, with just showing from his point of view, you know. Which I thought that was a good thing, you know, just seeing it from his point of view instead of just actually seeing the shark, though. So it drags her all over the water, you know. He can't hear because he's passed out on the beach, you know. But she dies, and later he's talking with Chief Brody, played by Roy Scheider. They found a severed arm on the beach by his deputy. And they think they confirmed that it's actually one of them, if it's a shark attack. So, but later on when they're at the beach, a kid by the name of Alex gets attacked, and when you see how the kid's getting attacked, there's lots of a load of blood that's in the water, you know, when you see him. Then he gets killed, and everyone gets off the beach, and the mother of the kid is wondering where her son is, but all you see was that torn up flotation device, flotation inner tube on the beach, and that was it. And then later on, the people in the town hall, they'll have a big meeting, you know. And then you get that really classic scene where Robert Shaw as Quint, you know, he scratches his fingernails on the chalkboard, you know, with that eerie, irritating scratch noise. And like, you all know me. Now I'll catch this bird for you, but it ain't gonna be easy. The shark swallow you whole. Now I'll catch him and kill him for 10. And you get the head, the tail, the whole damn thing. Really good classic lines from this movie, especially from Robert Shaw, who was really great as Quint. Robert Shaw and Roy Scheider, now may they rest in peace now. Sad. So they were taken into consideration just in case, and then later on, you know, that later in the night when Roy Scheider, he's looking through shark books, you know, flipping through the pages, and then later on, like, there's some two guys that were gonna catch the shark by throwing some bait out. But it took a part of the pier away from them. Then it turns around thinking like this can come back for them, but no, it just ends up sliding on the beach. And then the next day, Richard Dreyfuss, Matt Hooper, he arrives, and there's a funny line where Roy Scheider is like, there's too many of these guys on this boat, you know, and he's asking, please help me get this guy off. And he's like, gentlemen. The chief asks, you know, you're overloading on the boat, and he says, oh, go take a hike. And he's like, well, can you tell me if there's a good restaurant or hotel on the island? He's like, you walk straight ahead. And he says, they're all gonna die. And Richard Dreyfuss, he's funny in this film too. He only does a good great performance, but he also says funny lines too. Um, then oh, what was that? What was the next scene? Oh, he examines that severed arm of the girl, and he says, another classic line. This was no boat accident. It was like it wasn't some propeller or coral reef, and it wasn't Jack the Ripper. It was a shark. And another funny that line, that boat accident line. If you watch the movie Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss in it and Emilio Estevez, they're on that stakeout, and Emilio Estevez is like giving, okay, what movie? Oh, this was no boat accident. And Richard Dreyfuss is like kind of like smiled, and he says, I don't know. And he says, oh, you're hopeless, That's one of those funny when he says that, he's like, I don't know. So yeah. Then they find out that a bunch of fishermen are just driving along with their boats, they can get the shark to get the big award. They kill the shark, but it's the wrong shark. It's a tiger shark, though. Because even though Richard Dreyfuss, he examines it, and he knows it's the wrong one. Then later on at night, they go back and they cut the fish open to see whether it was eating the last 24 hours. All it was just a few fish and a tin can. Even the license plate has the state Louisiana on it. So now they definitely confirm now it's the wrong shark. So they drive out on the boat at night. And they come across a partially sunken little boat that's by the name of Ben Garner's boat. And as Richard Dreyfuss, he swims underneath the boat. He picks up a tooth. It's a great white tooth. And even when I was a kid, there was that one scene that really made me jump up a few times. Like when we look more into the hole, then that Ben Garner's head just suddenly pops up. That was a jump scare for me when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, that's really scary, So, but he gets scared, and he drops the tooth, and so the next day he talking to the mayor, played by Murray Hamilton. He would tell him, this is a great white, this is the most dangerous shark of all. They should just close the beaches, but of course the mayor keeps on insisting to keep the beaches open, because it's the 4th of July. And he's telling them what to do is whatever to keep the beaches safe, though, but they're going to be open, so. They're taking precautions, they have boats swimming around they have boats out there, and to keep the people safe on the beach. Then, of course, there was a panic started by two kids thinking of someone started playing a prank, with a fake shark fin, causes a big panic. Everybody gets off the beach. But then the real shark comes along. It kills this guy who was trying to talk to Chief Brody's son, and a couple of his friends are on their boat in the pond, and it kills that guy, and you see his severed leg just falls down to the bottom of the pond. And his son goes into a state of shock after seeing the death. So now then, Roy Scheider, he finally gets the mayor's approval to sign this thing to finally hire Quint to kill the shark, and for $10,000. So they all go on Quint's boat. They'll use his boat, and all of them just gonna go out of the ocean and find the shark, One of the good scenes, where he's Chief Brody, he's throwing some bait, some bait out, for the smell of blood, and he's like, so I can go sled, coming down and chump some of this shit. And the shark pops up, and then we go back, he backs up and talks to Quint, says the famous classic line in one of the most famous classic lines in movie history, you're gonna need a bigger boat. That is one of the most famous lines in movie history. You're gonna need a bigger boat. That's another thing. If anyone who knows that line, you're gonna need a bigger boat, they'll know it's straight from this film. Quint gets his little harpoon gun, shoots it, gets attached to one of the barrels, and they get that great score by John Williams, But then they lose it, and later on they're after eating their dinner there, and I always thought it was a great funny scene where they when Hooper and Quint, they share like the scars on like the arms and legs, from the stuff that bit him. Like Matt Hooper's like some more eel bit right through my wetsuit, and Hooper, like, see this I got here is a Thresher's tail. He's like, Thresher? It's a shark. And you want to drink to your leg? I'll drink to your leg. Okay, so we drink our legs. And then just laugh and laugh. And he's like, oh, it's a tattoo. I got that removed. I was like, don't tell me. Mother. I just thought those were so freaking hilarious. It still makes me laugh still. And he says, no, that's a tattoo of the USS Indianapolis, and he was one of the former sailors that was on the USS Indianapolis, and of course that's a famous scene right there where he talks about his tale from about when the sunk and they gathered in groups because there's sharks swimming around. He tells like things like one morning they come across one of his friends, he thought he was sleeping. He tried touching him, but then he finds that he was bitten, even bitten half below the waist. So he's like, yeah, we delivered the bomb. That's another famous scene in the film where he tells his tale of from the SS Indianapolis. And then they're singing that song, show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. And also, there's another funny thing in the 2010 Piranha remake, when Richard Dreyfuss makes his cameo there as his resemblance character to Matt Hooper in the star of the film, a Piranha. He's singing a song on his little radio. He's still singing that song. Show me the way to go home. I thought that was a nice touch, pretty much adding his character from the Piranha film remake and singing that song still. I thought that was a nice touch in there. Then the shark like attacks the boat a bit, and so some water is leaking, but with no minimal damage. And I always thought it was another funny line when the light goes out. He's like, Hooper's like, he ate the light. That was another funny line. Then of course it cuts to the next day. They're fixing up the boat, and then the shark pops up again. Chief Bro, he wants to use the radio when Quint he wrecks the radio, and it's like, that's just great, now how are we, huh? You're certifiable, couldn't you know that? And Quint's like, yeah. So they shoot the harpoon again with another attached to another barrel, and then they have another chase. And then the barrels pop up again, and they attach it to one of the end of his boat, the transom, and the shark starts pulling away, taking the boat with them, taking the boat into starts getting more water into the boat, but they pull the things out so the boat doesn't sink yet, and then they set up the shark cage, and Hooper goes in the shark cage and just tries to use this staff thing to stick him with, but it doesn't work because he gets knocked out of his hand in the cage, and the shark just banging against the cage, but Hooper escapes and he goes and hides in an underwater crevice, I think it was. And that's how we stay safe. But then the shark just pops out and just lands right on top of the boat, and that's when you get it's like the best death in the film though, but it's also a horrible way to die. And that was Quints' death, because it's on YouTube. If you find it on YouTube, it's like just type in Quints' death. Pretty much everybody wants to skip to that scene, Yeah, this is such a terrible way to die. He just slits on and just gets eaten alive, Then the shark is boasting and tilts on one side, and then the shark crashes through, and Brody, he takes one of the extra air tanks, just throws it in its mouth. He goes on top of I think it was like I think it was pretty much like the crow's nest up the crow's nest. He hides on top of there, gets his another statue starts poking with it, loses it. Then he gets the rifle, and he's just like, come on, he's like, show me the tank, you know, and then he gets swimming towards them. Another great line, "I'll smile, you son of a bitch," and then this just blows up, and it's all blood flying all over, you know, and he's like laughing, ha ha ha, you know, and it just shows another side where the rest of the shark body just sinks down, you know, and then Hooper pops back up, and it's just like, and he's like, Brody's like surprised, and he thought he was dead. He's like, they're both laughing, ha ha ha. He was like, Quint, no. So then you get the rest of the, like, couple of the barrels, and they start swimming towards shore. And he's like, hey, it's because, like, what day is this? It's Monday. Yeah, no, it's Tuesday, I think. You know, it's like, the tide's with us. I used to hate the water. And then Broly goes, like, laughs, like, I can't imagine why. And then, of course, then as it shows, it comes to the beach, and you can see, it's a wide, you see the wide shot of the beach, and then you see the two of them just slowly swimming towards the rest of the beach, and that was it. And that's the end of the movie. So yes, Jaws. It's definitely a freaking masterpiece. You know, one of the most classic films of all time. By far, I think it will always be the best shark film ever in movie history. Even though they do, as I read the book, there are differences. Quints Death was different. You know, he threw with pretty much from what I remember read in the novel, he threw like was like a harpoon, but then his foot gets caught in one of the ropes, and he ends up getting dragged along and drowned. I think that's for how Quint died in the book, as far as I remember. And Matt Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss' character, he dies in the book. He gets what I remember, he gets eaten by the shark, but Brody, he tries to shoot the shark, but ends up shooting Hooper in the neck, and that's how he died. He got shot in the neck, and then he gets eaten by the shark. I believe that's how I remember from the book. And I do believe that the shark, I think it was the shark lived or it died. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I read the book. But I know that Brody, I believe that Brody, he lived. But I think the shark died or didn't. I can't freaking remember. Damn. I don't remember. But I knew that was the Quints Death was different, and then Hooper, he died in the book. But yeah, you know, with the film, I'm glad that Richard Dreyfuss lived, you know. And then from then on, it was a big blockbuster at the time, and then it spawned to do more sequels. So, and it's on for 2 hours and 4 minutes. It's definitely it may feel like a long film, but it wasn't for me though. So yeah, now the next time in the reviews, I will be getting to the sequels. The next review, I will do a review of Jaws 2, the solid sequel, Jaws 2. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. So yeah. So epic masterpiece, and it always will be. And I do not want to see a remake. I thought I read there was talks from what I heard of Wikipedia, you know. I remember a time like the Legacy, but I don't think it's no longer there on Wikipedia. But at the time, I think they were planning to do a remake of it. That's just if they ever plan to do a remake of it, that'll make me mad more than anything. This is one of the most classic films of all time, and there's no point in making it. It's only been made purely just for freaking money, you know. This will always be such a masterpiece, and does not deserve to be remade. Does not. I repeat, does not deserve to be remade. If anyone else agrees with me, please leave a comment. Does not Please leave comment list like, you're right, this does not deserve to be remade. I'm freaking tired of these dumb remakes. And especially the new upcoming one, another remake of a classic, RoboCop. You know, who here wants a RoboCop remake? No, nobody. Especially when I saw that freaking trailer, it made me mad more than anything. And the stupid alterations that they did. And if anything, if they ever do a remake of Jaws, they're not gonna pretty much do nothing like it. They'll probably do some scenes, but it's gonna be really shitty. You know. I'm freaking tired of these remakes. Yes, there are remakes I really do enjoy. Like I said. I did a previous review of this. This is the reason why, because also from the 80s, because during the 80s they didn't decide to do a remake every single film nowadays. They did its own thing. It was much more differently. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. With the original of the Blob, they decided to do something that was different than the original. If they did a remake of this, what's gonna be different? Please tell me what can they do with things that's different than this. Well, from what I said, they've already started remaking Paul Verhoeven's films, you know, like RoboCop, and they already did a remake of Total Recall. That was shit, you know, and I've heard that they were gonna do a remake of Starship Troopers. Just freaking remake of Starship Troopers. Oh, and by the way, one thing I didn't point out in my Blob review. There was also talk they was gonna do another remake of this. It was gonna be remade by Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie was gonna do another remake of this. Yeah, he did. Yeah, when he remade Halloween, that was real different. Yeah, and adding too many cuss words in that film, and especially more of the F word. No. Yeah, if he ever did a remake of that, of the Blob, I'll bet he'll probably, they're gonna do something. Yeah, it'll be different than this. He'll probably make it talk. He'll probably cuss a lot. You know. It's just freaking stupid. Yeah, but it's a good thing that Rob Zombie said he was not gonna do it. And I'm glad. I'm glad he's not gonna do it. Be a waste. Even if it was a low budget, it would still be a waste of a low budget movie if he does it. There's no point in doing another remake of this. That's why I didn't point out my Blob review. I just want to mention that. So yeah, masterpiece film, does not deserve to be remade. It'll always let it forever be a classic film. Okay, no remakes, but it's no use. The people at Universal, they're not gonna listen to me. They're just gonna continue to do what they want. You know, they don't listen to fans. They don't. They just want to do whatever they want, you know, do whatever they want. They won't listen to anybody. They won't listen to fans, yeah. But anyway, that's my review for Jaws, and stay tuned for the review of this, Jaws 2. Take care.